So if you are looking to create the perfect card with sentiments, wishing you a happy birthday or for a special couple, if you're doing a project for someone special or someone you want to send lots of love to, maybe on their birthday or that special day, for those occasions that just need that perfect sentiment, you're in absolutely the right place at the right time for a brand new one-day special that can cater for all of your needs for all of those occasions. A very good evening. My name is Scott. It's lovely to be with you here on the Craft Store for the launch of, yes, 2 events actually. We've got the Flextravaganza, which I'll explain more about in a moment or two, and of course our one-day special. And really somebody that needs no introduction for, I think it's 15 years on the shopping television. Yes, I know. He doesn't look old enough to be around for 15 years, everybody.
I started when I was 16.
Oh, exactly. I think he's 31 actually next birthday. It's Phill Martin, everybody. The brilliant Phill Martin, I should have added in.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good.
Lovely to be with you.
Thank you very much. You as well.
Always a pleasure. And is it really 15 years?
It is. I was listening to whoever singing, sort of, on the way up, and I was thinking, do you know what, this is my 15th year of doing shopping telly.
That is fantastic.
15 years, it's flown by, and what a blast I've had.
And I tell you what, he still doesn't look a day over
thank you.
21. I'll go with the 21, plus a little bit of VAT, but that's not too bad. The reason why we mentioned that is you may be watching, and maybe you were a viewer as well, of course, of Create and Craft in the past as well. Well, if you don't know that the Craft Store have actually purchased Create and Craft. So do not panic, though, by the way. You can still buy with confidence. If you are buying, of course, and you're membered up to the whole of the club, of course, then that's brilliant. Or here, of course, at the Craft Store, if you're part of the family there and you've got your membership with us, of course, then again, either way, you can buy with confidence. And you'll see some changes going through over the next few months, of course, but one thing that will never change is brilliant Phill Martin with what he brings to us and your one-day special, which is always absolutely amazing. And we've got a deal for you here where you're going to be getting 85 stamps. I know. Now, I haven't counted them all personally, but I've got plenty of time because I'm on final call as well tomorrow, actually, with you. So I'll give you that time. But this looks like, I'd imagine, to someone that loves their stamping, just so many tools in here that they're going to love working with.
Absolutely. And again, when I was driving up here, this is what I would call a stamping system. Right. So it isn't just looking at them and thinking that that is a corner sentiment, that is a lovely, pretty corner. What you have is a system where you can mix and match, you can interact, you can embellish even the sentiments, you can embellish the you can create frames with them, you can do borders with them. So as a card maker, this is an absolutely fabulous collection of stamps because you're going to use it week in, week out, constantly. When you come to me, I will go through them in a little bit more detail so you can get sort of inside my head what the idea
is that
was.
safe to do so?
Yeah, sort of inside my head. But what I was trying to do is I've tried to design a collection of stamps that I know that we as card makers will use, and more importantly, that is interactive. Yes. You can mix and match and you can make them work so many different ways. And realistically, if you take those 85 stamps and times them by like 15, 16, that's how many different ways you can use these stamps. I
think trying to work out the Enigma code is probably easier with the combinations.
Much quicker,
than what you could do here. Let me give you everything on the details then, and then, as you say, we will go through this then with Phill, of course, for them. Now, if you would like to, you can go for these individually. So we've actually started off. We've got Duo 1 and Duo 2. Now, this is Duo 1 that we've got here. So that is going to be given to you there, your 2 sets of your A5. Now, that is working out at £29.98. Now, if you want that, you can do, because we've got our Flextravaganza, of course, because anything that is £1 or over, you can spread the cost over 2 payments. So that would just be working out at £14.99 for your first of your 2 payments to do. That is it. 759,999. That is if you want to go. Now, if you would like to go for Duo 2, it's the same item number that I just read out for you there, and you just want to go for the second set Duo 2. Again, exactly the same offer on the price we're looking at for these to go for. And again, so you're going to be getting 38 stamps from the second set. Again, all on 759,999. Now, the one-day special, however, is going to give you everything, and that has also got a saving of £6 on there, taking it down to all of those for £53.96. And that works out at just £26.98 per duo that you're looking at on there. So really good value for money. That works out on your Flexi, just 2 payments of £26.98. Now, the item number you need if you want to go for the one-day special and the complete collection, and that's where your saving is. So that's where I'm going to point you in that direction, and I will give you 85 stamps, all under the item code of 756537. Well, I will tell you, I'm not sure if I will be on final call tomorrow at 4 because almost 20% of the stock has already gone, which is phenomenal. So there's a lot in here to go for. They are fantastic. We're going to come on to those in 1 second. Before we go into detail on the stamps, and you can shop ahead, please do so. This is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to seeing these working with because these look great. Now, these are brand new, I'm thinking we're seeing here. 18 dies that we get, and we're already busy, and already a quarter of the stock gone almost. And these are for your A4 die sets. You're getting your stitched torn squares and you're getting your rectangles on these. £8 saving, and you can do this on your Flexi. 2 payments of just £32.99. And what's so lovely about these, don't worry about your storage because Phill has sorted that out for you. They all come on their own magnetic strips for them and keep them all in the right place. So you haven't got to worry about sizes getting mixed up. They can all stay very clearly where you can see. Item code you need here is 832439 is your item code for those. There's plenty more on the website. Please feel free to shop ahead, of course, and do take advantage, of course, of your Flextravaganza, launching now at 6 o'clock, and that is anything from £1 or over. You can split the cost over 2 payments for you. Right, lots of housekeeping sorted. Phill, let's get down to the fun bit now. Let's talk us through. Are you starting with the dies or with the one-day special?
I'm going to start with the one-day special.
Great.
Just because it makes more sense when I try to explain to you what was in my head. So most of you that have followed me for a while will know that I've done corner sentiments in the past. I've done corner stamps in the past, but I've never done a system like this. So I'm just going to quickly, are we on the overhead or do you want me in front? On the overhead, there you go, I'm just checking.
15 years, just like that, he's on it, you see, look at that.
It shows, as well as the wrinkles, they show as well. Right, so when I was originally designing this collection, I only actually did 1 set of the corners and borders. So straight away for me, as a card maker, you can see we've got this beautiful, I mean, these corner stamps are just exquisite in their own right. So you've got this beautiful elaborate corner here. These are sized perfectly for whatever size card you want to do. So even if you would like to do a little A6 cards, you're still going to be able to get 2 of these beautiful borders on there. Right. I never make A6s, you know, I like my 8x8s and sometimes even bigger. So, you know, they're going to work for that. But then I thought, you know what, I want a border to match. So I've done a border to match, yeah? But more importantly, that border is effectively the width of an A5 stamp set. Okay. So that means if you're making 6x6 cards, you're going to be able to stamp that straight away and then job done. And then I thought, do you know what if I want to do some backgrounds that match? So we've got the extra icons in. So you have a corner, a border and an icon that matches each different design. Brilliant. So there are 4 different designs in collection 1. And in collection 2, there are 4 more because, like I say, I couldn't stop at the 4 that I originally started, so we've got 4. You can see just by looking at this set, we've got something for everybody. So you've got the hearts there, good for your anniversaries, good for your wedding cards, good for your Valentines, and then you go on to these beautiful, beautiful ornate ones. So if you like Art Deco, you're covered. If you want to do more masculine style cards, you're covered. And the same system. So you've got 4 borders, 4 corners, and 4 extra icons. I'm going to put those up there because I will bring it all together in one go. And then we move on to the corner sentiments. So corner sentiments obviously are designed to go around the corner of your project, whether it's, I don't know, a card or a journal page or whatever. They will automatically go around the corner. It's 1 stamp, you can see there. So you don't have to worry about lining it up or anything like that. It's all in 1 stamp. But if you look, the gap in between this corner, so if I put this, I'm just going to put this onto this corner because it'll make more sense to you when I do this. Obviously, if you can see through it. So when you put that on your corner, look, so whether it's with my new torn edge dies or my original double D embossed, the gap in there will fit all 8 of these extra icons from the 2 corner sets. And then also, there's so much in this, honestly. It's going to be one of those collections that you just use time and time again. We've got finials as well. So finials, if you I mean, most people will know finials are kind of the things that go on the end of your poles on your curtains. So these are going to be what go on the end of your sentiments. So you've got the star one there, which is obviously going to match the star border. So you're going to be able to finish the edge of every one of these sentiments to match the corner and the border. You're going to make some beautiful projects with these. I can't wait to see what you all do. And I've not even finished yet. So you've got a medium-sized icon for every design. You've then got a mini icon for every design, so you know it works for your smaller cars, and 8 corner sentiments, and it's a beautiful, beautiful font. So got one more set to go. You can see why there are 85 stamps now, can't you? I can't get that in, so I'll come back to that. And then we've got the regular sentiments, and I'm just going to bring these in because I say regular, they're not, they're absolutely beautiful. So you've got 9 different sentiments in there, your generic ones like with love on your special day and that kind of thing. But then look at the bottom. You've got mini borders that coordinate with all 8 corners, all 8 borders, and every single one of those little icon extra stamps. And you've got 2 different sizes, and the 2 different sizes are so you can do this with your sentiments. So you're now framing and creating your own unique sentiment toppers in a coordinated look. It's just fabulous. And I'm just going to bring this other card in, because you can use them like this as well. There are so many different ways you're going to be able to use these stamps, honestly. You will never get bored with them. Yeah, and that's the stamps.
What's so nice about that is that you have thought of all the challenges. This is why is why I think people that, if you've bought from Phill in the past, you'll know this, because Phill is a stamper, he's a crafter, he knows what he's doing. He's had the same issues that you may have had, and it looks like you have already sort of taken that into account, and you've solved the problem for it and realised what would work nicely, and that nothing's wasted in the space.
And I think from me as well, from my point of view as a card maker primarily, I love to decorate the corners, and you know me well enough at home to know that I love the coordinated, polished look. These are really elegant, they're very classy. You can see looking at the samples that the girls have done there, and David. You've got some mixed media type ones, you've got some grungy ones, and then when you come to me, you know you're going to get like the blue one that's coming onto the screen now. That's what I did on my Facebook Live last night.
Oh, that's lovely.
Very classy, very stylish, and so easy to do with this collection of stamps. You'll never get bored with these.
Yeah, honestly, and the other thing is because you have got so many different varieties of different ways to work with, which is perfect. So let's just recap. If you just sat down with the brew, firstly, a very good evening. Thank you for joining Phill and myself. It is a launch of another brand new one-day special, but there are 2 sets here, Duo 1 and Duo 2. Now, these are available individually. So if you want to go for Duo 1, 40% of the stock on those 2 stamp sets there that are under Duo 1 have already been allocated. That will give you 47 stamps, and that is there for £29.98. Duo 2, as we've just been gone through, 10% of those, again, have already gone individually. Both of those, Duo 1 and Duo 2, are both on the same item code. That's 759999, and that's £29.98 for those. Now, if the one-day special is more what you're thinking of, because as you have heard, and I can tell you now, only 13 minutes in, we're almost a quarter of the stock has already now been allocated of a big stock, because there's another live show again at 8, another one again at 8 tomorrow morning, another one at 12, and then one again at final call tomorrow at 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So a lot of stock for all of that. The great thing is, now that Phil's explained that to you, and explained that to me as well, I'm thinking the way that these work together, the more choice you have on your stamps in front of you, the more you can create when you're making your cards. So my advice, and this is where your saving is in the whole complete collection. That gets you all 85 stamps, as you can see, all 85 of those. The one-day special then gives you a £6 saving, and that's on Flexi, and that's then down to just £26.98. That's one of 2 payments that you'll be making there, £26.98. And as you heard then, that gives you all of your sentiments. You've got your corners, again, with your sentiments on there. All those elements, the smaller and the larger ones to go with it, nothing is wasted. And it's all of those is then going to give you the way of working the perfect sentiment, the perfect card with the perfect finish. The item code you need for that is 756537. Now, we'll say this, it is very, very busy. We've now getting to a quarter of the stock has gone. A quarter of the stock has now already gone for this one. So please don't hang around. If you are making cards for those special occasions, and you want to take out that whole measuring up, trying to put the set, what can I find that's going to match that? Don't forget the great thing here, what Phill talked about, is they are made to measure in many ways that you're pretty much sorted on your A5, your A6s as well. You've got the smaller borders, you've got the corners there for it. It's a great opportunity. 756537. Now, we have got the dies, which are also brand new. We've got the squares and the rectangles for you, and these look gorgeous. These are your stitched and your torn images you're going to get. We'll be very quick about this, by the way, because already, wow, almost 40% of the stock has already gone. 832439. Phill, can you talk us through this? But we might be quick, Phill, because they're going quicker than my fridge.
But I have prepped 2 demos for this app.
Oh, right. Right, OK.
So we shall see.
We shall see.
OK, so the stitched torn dies are on the A4 magnetic sheet, as you would expect from me, so your storage is already sorted. This is the start of a new collection for this year, so there will be more additions to this released throughout the year.
Right, yeah? Lovely.
So we'll just quickly look at the squares first. So what I wanted with this collection, I don't know whether you can get close enough. I will bring a little, there you go. So what I wanted here was a lovely torn edge effect that didn't look shabby. I wanted it to look classy, and you can see that there. If I just tilt that, you can see better in the light. So you've got that beautiful, beautiful kind of old vintage page effect going on, but you know me well enough to know that I'm not happy with just that. We've also got the debossed stitch detail in there. So you can see that beautiful stitching detail runs all the way around. You also know, if you've bought my dies before, that you don't have to run these through your machine twice. You will get the cut and the deboss effect in one pass of your machine, whether it's an electric machine or whether it's a manual one. And I'm just going to show you this. Oh, look at that for a shot, eh? So you can see there, we've got that beautiful, beautiful, thank you. We've got that beautiful, beautiful deboss stitch. And I'm just going to flip this over while we've got that angle, because I always tell you this when I'm on that it's important for me that the debossing doesn't cut through the card. And you can actually see there, even on the reverse, it doesn't go through the card, and it is a specialist technique. It isn't just something I said to the manufacturers, shove me a debossed effect on there. It was something that I pay extra for, so you know it's not going to tear through your card or tear through your paper or anything like that. It's the perfect depth. So you can see we've got layering dies, so effectively we've got the largest one, which you can make your card blanks from. I believe Ilona from the design team has done that. But then you start pairing them together and you create your frames. This is what I'm using on this first demo. So miss a few out, you know the drill. You miss a few out, you create a frame, then you've got layering frames. So we've already created our own invertage effect just from those dies. So that is the squares. I'm not going to show you them all, but I will just show you one that's solid, just so you can see what they look like when they're solid, because they're absolutely gorgeous. And before we move on, I'm just going to bring in the square double debossed, because these I've put on the show as well. And I'm seriously, seriously low on the debossed stock, any of my debossed dies, and I am not restocking this year. So if you haven't got the debossed squares, as this is now getting really towards the stage where you need to get them. And I'm just going to explain to you. Yeah, so I just want you to know this so that you know what you're getting when you get these home. You can see by the design of the stitched torn ones that they are a little bit wider than the debossed ones. However, most of these dies will mix and match with the double debossed as well. Not all of them, because obviously you're going to miss a few because of the size dimensions, but most of them will. So straight away, my new collection that I've launched now will work with a collection that I launched 2 years ago. Wow, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. So that is the squares. I'll quickly run through the rectangles. It's the same thing with the debossed rectangles that are also on the show. You're getting the A4 magnetic storage sheet with them. You have 8 in the rectangle, because obviously if I went any smaller it would have just looked like a blob, and we don't want blobs on our cards. And you've got the same system, so you can mix and match with all the other rectangle dies I've brought you. Right, do you want to do anything for our start?
I just wanted to say that, but if you do want to go for those, they are available on the show right now. And don't forget, the Flextravaganza has started as well, so you can split the cost. Of course, anything over £1, you can spread that on your Flexi. So if you want to go for those ones, that's going to give you 18 dies you're looking at there, and that is now coming in at £32.99. That's your first of 2 payments as well, normally £36.99 each. So actually really good deal. Item code, just to point you in the direction, top left of your screen, 832439 is your item code to look at there, which is phenomenal. 1 day special update. We are now almost nearly a third of the stock has already gone. I know we've got lots of samples to share with you. We will look at those. I've got honestly, I'm drowning in samples, which is
You've got
lovely.
about 70.
And that just goes to show you, though, doesn't it, how many different ways you've got to work with this collection. So we're almost a third of the stock. Let's see it actually in action, Phil. What are you going to be working with to start with for us then?
Okay, so we're using, obviously, the 1 day special for the first demonstration, and I'm using the square dies. I have already done a little bit of cutting, obviously, just because it saves a little bit of time. And what I want to show you is how easy these stamps are to work together. Now, I was going to use, let me just show you, this is my Air Force Blue premium cardstock, which is on the website. I think we've got about 50 or 60 colours now in the premium cardstock, so it's better to go on and search by brand, and then you'll be able to see all the different colours that I've got. And I was going to heat emboss with the Blueberry Crush embossing powder. Because it's a really beautiful combination. I'm not, because I want to try and get 2 demos done. Right. So I'm gonna change that, because it takes longer, obviously, and I want to show you as many different ways to use these stamps as I can.
I think the last time we were on together, you got through 3 demos.
That's
you did.
Ridiculous.
I know you did.
And that'll never happen this year, Scott. Not now. I'm 15 years.
No, well, no, exactly. 15. We need a T-shirt made for you. That's what we need.
Right. So what we've got here is we've got 2. I've cut 2, and the cardstock that I've used here is not pure white, it's alabaster white, which is it's a little bit softer. It's not quite cream, it's not quite white, it's kind of a milky colour. Yeah, and can you see where I've created the 2 frames by using the largest one, and then I missed 2 out and used the next one, so I've got a wide frame, and then I used the largest one again, missed 2, that was 3, this is 2, missed 2 out, and then you go to the next one. And the corners, if I show you these corners, because this is part of the design, because you know as well as I do, everybody at home, that when you're trying to match corners up, it's not always easy. Right. So can you see my top left corner is the same as my bottom right corner? Yes. So it doesn't matter now which way you do these, it's going to line up for you. Lovely. And they're really forgiving. So you know when you come onto the regular matting and layering styles like this, like when you just do three layers, doesn't matter if you're a bit skewy, because the dies are designed like that. No. Right, so we're going to start by stamping a corner and a sentiment at the same time, and I'm going on the smallest frame, and I'm going to pop this in my stamping platform, and for once I've listened to my good pal Julia, and I am going into the corner, whereas normally people know me well enough to know that I usually just stamp in the middle, but I'm going into the corner this time. So try and not look at the outside edge when you're lining up. Try and use your stitching detail. Oh, okay. Because that gives you a... I mean, it doesn't really matter, to be quite honest. If it's a little bit off, it won't matter. Your cars are still going to look fabulous. But I'm using the debossed with the edge of my platform just to try and hold that in place. And we're going to stamp 2 at a time on this card. And I've gone for Stormy Sky Distress Oxide. So... the card that you saw at the beginning of the show, the blue and white one I did on my Facebook Live last night, it is on my Sentimentally Yours Facebook page. And when you're using Distress Oxides to stamp, I recommend that you do it twice, because you get a lovely colourway. Okay. So your stamping platforms will be fab. So which one shall we go for? So many choices. You're never going to get bored with these. Shall we do the star? Yeah, go on. Let's do the star.
I suppose, I mean, from this, if you're to start when you get this out for the first time, I suppose the best thing is just to play for a bit, just have a go.
Do you know what? Stamp them first, get them home, just get some scrap paper and stamp them all. Because it's nice to have something where you've seen them stamped so you can see what they look like. Yeah. I mean, the packaging obviously gives you what they should look like, but when you stamp with different inks, you get different results. So I tend to, well, I have to do, when I get my prototypes, I test every individual stamp myself. I still do that myself. Yeah, and with all my dies. Right, so we're going to do a sentiment and a corner. Let's do it the other way around. a sentiment and a corner at the same time. So I'm using my stamping platform. If you haven't got a stamping platform, don't panic. I've got my lovely trio of, what do you call them, acrylic blocks on the show, where you have got the, you've got the border, you've got the DL, and you've also got the rectangle. So
right, we've got those details. They're on the screen for you, actually. You can see there.
Well, a fabulous shot.
There we are. We've got that clear block on white. So $14.99. They're there. You've got that's the essential acrylic blocks. It's DL, your border, and your rectangle. That's 334 339.
So what I've got here, look, is I've got my sentiment on, and I've got my fancy corner on at the same time, and we'll stamp them both at the same time. So I'm just going to move these up a bit just to make sure it doesn't move, because that would just drive me over the edge. And we're going to use Stormy Sky. It's a perfect match for the, well, almost a perfect match for the Air Force Blue cardstock. Do you think we're going to get 2 demos done in this hour?
I've got great faith in you. I mean, maybe I'm not sure, you know, it might be unfounded, I don't know, but I've got great faith. I want to see those 15 years of experience come through.
Thank you, thank you. Right. Right,
it is busy, by the way. We are, again, around about a third of the stock already on this, what Phill is demonstrating, your one-day special that gives you 85 stamps, which is absolutely brilliant as well. What does that work out, Miss Producer? £13.49 per stamp set. For an A5 set, you know, that's a really good deal. That is a lot, and there's a lot of stamps in there across the board with that. 85 stamps. 85, and more importantly, it's 85 stamps that you're going to use. Yeah, exactly. So even those small ones, I'm not going to do it now, but can you see the gap we've got there, look? So the gap is perfectly sized for all of these extra finials. So the coordination you're going to get and the effects you're going to get from these stamps is just incredible. Yeah, it's just nice and easy as well, though. Like you say, you haven't got to do any other measuring out or trying to get the other one equal to it to get the square and to get the corner. You've got the stamp does it there for you. Yeah. One lining up. All lining up. So we'll do the top one. So you can see now why I did. I mean, look at that. Nah, that's lovely. Is that not just stunning? So what I'm going to do is we're going to do the other side. So obviously, when I move that round now, my sentiment is going to be in the top left. Right. So I've got top left sentiment, bottom right sentiment. I've just got to line this up. Oops. While you're lining up, just let people know that we are using the torn squares on this one, which, by the way, you can go for individually as well if you wanted. They are available on 2 flexes. Both of those are just £18.50 each for those, and that's 381704, and that will give you 10 dies and the magnetic sheet to come on there. And half the stock of those individually has already gone on those as well, so you are already playing catch up, okay? But if you want to go for that, you can go for the bundle with them with the rectangles as well, if you like to go for that one again. But again, over 40% of the stock of that bundle has already gone. That's 832439. Okay, so I'm just going to do the top corner now. Little tip for you. It's too late now. I'm going to do mine. But remember, when you turn, you need to either turn all the way around, so it's the opposite, or you can do one corner at a time. So I'm lucky because I've got 2 or 3 sets of these stamps, and I was going to do them all in one go. Oh, okay. And I thought, no, I'm not, because I didn't want you to think that you need to have 2 or 3 sets to be able to do this. Yeah, so I'm showing you with one set, but look how quick this is with the stamping platform. If I was doing this with an acrylic block, I would certainly just do one at a time and then come back to it. Right. It's part of the fun. It's being creative. So I haven't done all the work for you. I've done the design, and I've designed a set of stamps that I think you're going to use year in, year out. But that's it about the design as well that you've got there. They are beautiful, and they are one of those that's not going to age. It's going to be something that's classic in there. People recognise in there. That will cover it for all occasions, and I'd say male or female as well on these. Yeah, and I was very conscious of that. I mean, look at that. Let's just have a quick look at this now. So we've taken them beautiful new dies. I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to clean my stamp because I can't read dirty stamps. It's my thing. We don't want that. We don't want that. I just can't. Me and Leonie are really good friends, but we're polar opposites with how we
how we work.
Everyone has their own. There's no right or wrong. It's what's right for you.
Absolutely. It's whatever works for you. So we've now taken that frame and we've created something completely unique.
Beautiful.
And I already think that looks classy before I even put the card together.
It does.
So I'm going to put that to one side and we're going to take the other frame, which is the larger one. So remember, you're only actually going to see the inner part of this because this one's going over the top. Yeah. So we're only going to see the inner part of this, and I'm going to take my superfine crackled stamp, which these rubber stamps are on the show, and again, it's one of those products that we've got very few left of.
Right.
So is there a deal on these lovely lot in my ear?
We are trying to find the details to bring them up. Yeah, we'll have a little look. If we can, we'll get the details up for you. And oh, there we go. Oh, we've got to.
Superfine crackled is what I'm using.
This one, we got the distressed code and we got the broken secure. Oh, we got the stills to be able to show. There we go. There we are. Right,
so that one is the broken circuitry and the distressed code, which I am going to be using throughout the day. Oh, so you've got a £4 saving as well.
There we go. You asked if there's a deal.
Normally these stamps, 12 quid, I think, or 12.99, something like that, individually, because they're rubber stamps. So good deal.
Well, there we are. We got it under £20 for you now. 19.98 for that. That's 037427. But we've also got for you, if you want to go for this one, this is the elegant vinyl and the super fine crackled as well, and that's the one that Phil's working with. Again, another £4 saving on that at 727943. Again, under £20. There's also one more as well. And we've also got for you the beautiful Starburst.
Yeah,
I love
fabulous.
that. And we've got the Sparkly Squiggly. I love that name.
Yeah.
Sparkly Squiggly. I recognise the Starburst from. There's a few that I've enjoyed working with these on these projects.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of Julia's all-time favourites.
It really is a lovely one. That's a great one. I know I should have a favourite, but 1998 054341. For those as well.
These are what I call worker stamps, and because they're in rubber, you can do a lot more with them. So all I'm doing, look, is I'm just doing this freehand, and I'm just adding this lovely crack, and it really is a super fine crackle detail, which you're only going to see the inside, and it's going to look fabulous. And it's just those small details. There we go. And then we can start putting this card together, and then I'm going to do the sentiment. So let me just clean that. The only reason I get in,
I reckon if you didn't clean, you'd get about 4 or 5 demos in.
Yeah, absolutely, probably. So I'm just going to give you a little tip, because I've used Distress Oxide, it might still be a touch damp, so I'm just going to go over that just with my kitchen roll, and we're going to start layering this up. So this is going on. Panic! I nearly panicked. I'm thinking I'd come without my foam tape. That would have been an emergency situation.
We were in trouble then.
And I've got no nails, look, to get the blue bit off. There we go. So this is going on a layer of foam tape, as is the other one. Now normally I would spend the time and we would have this 2 deep, but I won't spend ages because I want to try and get the other card done. There we go. And then the other one is also going on a layer of foam tape, just because I can, and just because I'm not posting this card.
So why not? Absolutely.
You can see, look, that this is actually deep enough, and it does warrant the extra layer of foam tape just to stop it from sagging in the middle.
By the way, if you are going for the set together bundle that we've got for you on those dies, that's 832439. Now, over half the stock has gone actually on those, and that's, of course, for your stitched torn squares and the rectangles. You're going to be getting both of those for that deal. They're available on Flexi with that £8 saving, meaning you're just 2 payments, just £32.99. 832439. Now, they are available individually. The squares are at the bottom of your screen. That's 381704. Now, half the stock of the squares individually has also gone for you. The rectangles are also there for you now. 824759. Again, you're getting 8 dies in that set for you.
Okay, so I'm
busy.
I'm just layering this card up, and apologies everybody if it seems like I'm speed crafting, but I am. Because I want to try and get the other one done. So already that looks fab, doesn't it? So let's get the sentiment on as well. You'll be glad to know that all my flowers are done and ready to go.
Oh.
Because it would take me ages to make the flowers. You know, when I'm prepping my demos,
yeah,
the flowers are what take me the longest.
I bet. Yeah, of course.
Which is why, I mean, I used to do a couple live, and I have left one on one of my shows tomorrow, I think, tomorrow morning, to do one live to show you how I do it. But the best way to find how I do my flowers is to go on my Facebook page and have a look there. Right, so remember, top left, bottom right, you know it's going to line up because that's the way I've designed them, so you don't need to worry about lining it up too much. Just remember to put some glue on your foam tape to give you a bit of wiggle time. And how beautiful does that look already?
So good.
Yeah, so we're going to move on to the sentiment. So the sentiment, again, we're going to do on the stamping platform because I want to use the mini borders with this. I'll tidy up in between because this kind of thing drives me.
I can see the pain. He's in the pain there. Yeah. He knows it's not in the right position.
So what we're going to do is the sentiment and the mini borders to create a unique topper in one go. Yeah, so just make sure that's straight. And I'm trying to show you how easy it is to do. You can spend as much time as you like on this when you've got them home, because I would normally, if I'm honest with you, I would normally have spent the time and heat emboss these, because if you get on the website and have a look at the embossing powders I've put on the show, yeah, all the sets give you some gorgeous colours, and they're so fine that they'll pick all the detail up. So we're going to go with Just For You Today. We'll go with Just For You Today, and we'll pop that in the middle. And I'll do the sentiment first.
Okay.
And then we'll put the little borders on top. So just to explain to you why I've done that, because I want you to know, if I get the little borders, which one did we use? The stars. If I put the extra border on, yeah, it's too close to the outer edge of that stamp.
Right.
So if I'd have got a bigger piece, it wouldn't have mattered, but we are going to do it separately. Here we go.
Right.
So I'm going to do again two layers of ink, just because it's a distress oxide. If you were using VersaFine Clair, you would get amazing results with these in just one go. But I love the colours from the distress oxide. I mean, look at that. That's the impression number one.
It's a lovely font.
What a gorgeous font.
It's lovely.
While I'm just rattling as well, it's worth me mentioning to you, and I said this on my Facebook Live last night, if you've got any of my older corner sentiment stamps, right? I think this is the 3rd year since I did the last corner sentiments, and I actually showed everybody last night. I showed everybody the stately corner sentiments that are a couple of years old. You can still use the small icons from these with stamps that are 3 years old.
Oh, well, they will still. Yeah, oh, okay, great.
Oh, look at that. Right, so now we've got that on. We'll do the borders. And there are 2 different sizes in the borders, remember. So you've got, I'll put that on there so I don't lose it. You've got the smaller one and you've got the larger one. So let's see if the larger one will fit on this little piece of card. If it doesn't, we'll just do 2. And it does, of course it does. So you've got choices now. So when you get to this stage, you can either have one going down, one going up, which is what I'm going to do. So this little one at the bottom is the swirls are going face down. And the one at the, this is why I love stamps like this, because you're faffing, you're fidgeting, and then you know it's going to be a fabulous result when you've done. So we've got going in, going up, going down, going up, and it's going to match perfectly with, if it stops sticking to my finger, use an anti-static bag on your hand, everybody, before you do that. I should have done that, but learn from my mistakes.
But that is a nice thing, like you say on this, Phill, that you make all the decisions along the whole of these processes. You can change it, go with what style you want to do. I mean, there's so many different combinations.
And I think for me, and I know I said this right at the top of the hour, as a card maker now, because I've done it for so long, I'm looking for collections that will work with what I've done, what's coming in the future, also standalone, but it isn't just stamping a sentiment and job done.
No.
We've taken the idea of a border and a corner and mini borders and icons and sentiments, and we've created a whole system where you can mix and match. So we could, for example, have used the heart mini borders instead of the stars, and you would, I mean, look at that. Is that not just
beautiful?
Absolutely.
Really beautiful.
Gorgeous. Yeah?
Yeah.
clean that and we'll get cracking.
Very professional finish on that. I think that's what's so nice about these, that they do look really, really professional when you're doing these, and you've designed that all the way through. We'll just see then this. I'll give you some updates in a second. It is, all I'll say is for now is it's really busy, everybody, okay? So please, if you just sat down and you got yourself a little glass of something cold and sparkling possibly, or something with a bit of ice in it, or a nice brew, 40% almost of the stock on your one-day special, we're only 40 minutes into it from the launch, has now already been allocated. That's how busy it is for this, and there's so much. It really is. It's lovely. Or you just put a bit more of that. Is that the same?
This is a superfine crackle, yeah, I forgot to do it. So I'm just going to show you, actually, once I've done this, because you've got lots and lots of choices. This is what most of the cards that we make are square or rectangle. So you absolutely know that these stamps are going to work with the majority of cards that you do. If you do or if you do octagon-shaped cards, which you can do because you can create the card blanks from our double debossed octagon dies, you can still use these mini borders. These mini borders, where have I put it? Oh, I put them away. But these mini borders will go on each section of my octagon dies, so you can frame.
So blimey, they have.
I'm not just a pretty face. I'm just. I can tell you that I'm not that before I get ready to come here either. So now we've created another coordinating layer, and we can either use this or we can not use it. I am going to use it. And if you want to do your updates, because I'm going to do 2 layers of foam tape on this.
Lovely, lovely. The dies that you just seen Phill working with at the moment. Okay, now you can get those individually. We've got the bundle where you get them both as well. But let's go through them for you individually for you. Your square is your first of your options, so that'll give you 10 dies. Don't forget, of course, with Phil's, you do get the magnetic storage sheet also included with all of those. Item code you're going to need here, 381704. That's for your squares. Now, individuals on the squares, almost 80% of the stock on these now has already been allocated, 36 at 99. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you can do that on Flexi. We've got Flextravaganza that launched at 6 o'clock this evening. That's anything with £1 or over. You can then, of course, spread over 2 payments. So if you want to go for the squares, where nearly 80% has gone, 2 payments of £18.50 is all you're looking at for those. We've also got the rectangle option for you as well. Exactly the same offer. We've also got that on Flexi available for you if you want to go for that. That's 824759 if you'd like to go for those. And almost a third of the rectangles also have gone. Now, we have done as a bundle for you, put both the squares and the rectangles together for you on this one. That gives you all 18 dies you're looking at that, and that's got an £8 saving if you're buying on both of those, and that takes it down to £65.98. But of course, Flextravaganza as well, don't forget, that is actually down to your first of 2 payments. Is only £32.99. And your item node you need there is 832439. But I will tell you that 60% of the stock has been allocated on the bundle as well. OK, let's take you down to the one-day special, which launched at 6 p.m. this evening. If you just sat yourself down for the evening with us, and a very warm welcome if you have. It's broken up of 2 components. It's Duo 1 and you've got your Duo 2. So your Duo 1 you're looking at there is going to be giving you your A5 sets in here. That's 759999. This has got your sentiments on there, you've got your corners as you can see, the other little elements you can do. In total, Duo 1 is 47 stamps in total. Half the stock of the Duo 1 has already gone individually. Duo 2 is also your option for you for exactly the same price, and it's also on the same item code for you, and that again is looking at, is it that 38 stamps for Duo 2, and a third of the Duo 2 set has already gone also. Now, that works out £14.99 per stamp set. What if I could take that down to £13.49 per stamp set? Well, we could do that. We'll give you for that for all 4 of that bundle, because you've got a £6 saving, and that brings your price down to just £53.96. That makes it even lower on your Flexi of just 2 payments of £26.98. Now, that works out at a lower price than just getting one set of your duo that you're looking at. 756537, and that's going to give you 85 stamps. And also, it's worth pointing out, of course, here that with regards to everything that Phil's talking about, and if you listen to what Phill mentioned at the beginning, this is all about options and choices that you get to make. Which one of those sentiments you're using, which one of the patterns that you're going to go with the borders, for example, or the smaller elements. Now, of course, common sense tells me that the more of those stamps you have in front of you, i.e. if you go for the complete collection, 85, the more choices are available to you. 40% of the stock of the one-day special, which, by the way, has got to get through the 8 o'clock live hour. It will then play through the night. It's then back live again at 8 again tomorrow, 12 o'clock tomorrow, and if it's still there with me at final call at 4 p.m. tomorrow. And to have that amount has already gone is phenomenal for that one. 756537 on your one-day special, but it really is beautiful. This is about options, isn't it? About how you do. If you just look at what we've got here, in fact, Phil, have I got time just to show a couple, very quickly, a couple more samples?
Quite clearly, I'm not going to get two demos.
You can blame me now. You can blame me. I'll just show a couple with regards to these.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to say thank you to my design team because they are absolutely amazing. Search for Sentimentally Yours on Facebook. We've created the album. There's about 65, 70 photos in there already, so you're going to have inspiration straight away. So thank you to Joanne, to Alison, to David, to Lozzie, to Helen, and to Ilona, and to my sister Karen as well, because she's made a few.
Oh, she's made a few?
Yeah, a few, yeah, but she is busy.
Speaking of photos, I think that's lovely. It takes me on to this one, but just look at this. Again, I love that with the corners. It is beautiful. And it breaks up. It's just different from it having right bang in the centre, isn't it? But when you open this one, if you think about making your photo frames, look at that.
Is that not just fabulous? So she's left a slot in there so you can slot your little photographs in there. That's one of Ilona's.
But all those lovely individual elements that keeps the theme running on throughout all of that. It is really beautiful, that. And even just on the back. I mean, that is. I'm only showing this one, but just again to show you that detail that you can work with as a little photo album. So just absolutely beautiful. Right, I'm not going to take the blame if it doesn't get through to 2. So straight back over to Phil.
I won't get 2 done, but we are going to finish this one. So I'm just going to show you where we're at with this one. So we've gone. I've gone in with the middle. So this, you can see that this section here that I added the superfine crackle to, that superfine crackle stamp is a must-have. It is, I mean, there are crackle stamps and there are crackle stamps, and this is really, really fine. It's just a beautiful detail. But I've done that on two layers of foam tape, so you can see just that little tint of the blue poking through, and I've used my Diamond Dazzle glitter around the edge. Put the sentiment on more foam, but doesn't that look beautiful before I even add the embellishments to it? So if you're one of those people who doesn't like to put 10 flowers on the card like I do, and you are posting your cards, you imagine if somebody who is not me gets that through the post, they're going to think, wow, it looks so classy and elegant.
Yeah, it really does. That's the last word,
I am me, so we're going to put a few little flowers on. And I'm going to show you these because these sensational stamens that are on the show have been an absolute game changer for my original, for my original flower dies. And I did post a picture of these as well on Facebook, and then everybody were like, wow. So these are the romantic flower dies. So I can tell you that because we've got that lovely serrated edge going on. And all I've done is I've layered them up twice. I've used I've used faded jeans distress oxide in the middle of these, as opposed to stormy sky, because it's a little bit darker. And these stamens, they look absolutely fantastic, and it's just a little stripe of glue with the Diamond Dazzle glitter on these. Aren't they beautiful?
They're really nice.
I know I say this all the time, but the original flowers that I released 2 years ago are literally by a thread. They won't be back ever.
Oh, right.
So if you're collecting them, because there were 4 shapes, if you were collecting them and you're missing any, you know what to do.
Or I'll tell you what, I'll just very quickly give the details of those stamens then for you. And this, you're getting them here. This is them actually cut through, so you can have a little idea of exactly all the different options you're going to be getting. Now, 10% has already gone, actually. You've been shopping ahead on these ones. 479713. That's how they're going to cut through. Like I say, there's 18 dies, but they will come, of course, on the magnetic sheet. They're all there for you as well, and that'll give you 18 that you're working with for all of those. That will do it. £21.99. Again, all comes on your storage magnetic sheet to work with as well. 479713.
Yeah, the storage is important to me now, so
especially
I make sure they all
on
do.
small elements like that, which are more easy going to get lost or lose away.
Right, so are you ready for me?
Yes, go for it, go for it.
So all I'm doing here is I'm just assembling this card. So the leaves I've got here are my original Lush leaves. So all I've done is I've just shaped them a little bit, put some Diamond Dazzle glitter on the end, and I've actually chopped a couple off. As a set of leaf dies, they're fabulous because they kind of, I call them my fat leaves because they're a bit rounder. But sometimes you want that, I mean, if you look how they look tucked underneath that flower. Aren't they beautiful? And then we're going to do the same on the bottom corner. Who am I kidding? You know when I'm prepping my demos, I always prep two for each hour.
Well, I think it's always nice to have that hopefulness. You never know.
Ever the optimist.
Yeah, you never know. 7
minutes I've just heard in my ear. Everybody knows me well enough to know that I cannot make a card in 7 minutes.
You can talk us through what that would have been.
Yeah.
We have got the Lush leaves that you're seeing there as well that are working with. There we go. So you go for that one. That is your Lush leaves and the leafy fronds there. That for you, £16.98. £8.49 a die set actually. That with that £5 saving. 509149 is your item code. Now don't forget it is your Flagstravaganza. So £8.49 if you want to split that over 2 payments. Yep, you can do anything from £1 and over while the event is running for yourself right now. So a good chance to get them and spread the cost, of course. Perfect. Yeah,
I mean, the original flower dies, you've got Romantic, you have Sweetheart, the Sweetheart shape, you have the Elegance, and you have, there's one that I forgot, Enchanted, yeah. But they're all 4-petal flowers. So when I originally released them, it was a 4-petal flower system.
Right. Oh, right.
And this is what enables you to create flowers like this. So clearly you're going to be able to mix and match them with other brands as well.
Yeah.
But the 4-petal is what makes these beautiful shapes, like kind of a square shape, but it's not a square because you've shaped them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So I've got them on, and we're just going to finish off with a couple of little butterflies because clearly there's not enough on this card as it stands. So let's have a butterfly
looking so lovely,
there.
that.
The butterflies are on the show as well.
They are really, really beautiful. We've got the butterfly dies also available for you that you just see there being placed in there. 565140. That says £8 on your flexi if you want to go for that, and that gives you your 4 dies. Again, you're also going to be getting your A5 magnetic sheet again to keep them all nice here. So when you think you're getting your storage as well as the dies included, and you can spread that cost on your flexi, it's a really good time. It's a great deal, but a great time to get that as well. 565140.
I'm laughing because I've made one card, but it is beautiful.
It is a lovely card though. There's a lot of detail in there. A lot of elements.
So the only thing I haven't done, we've used the corners there from the one-day special. We've used the corner sentiments from the one-day special. I haven't put the icons in. So straight away, you know as well as I do at home that if you put the star icon, because there is some stars in there, that's going to change the look again.
Yeah.
We've used the mini borders and we've used the sentiments. I could have quite easily. So if you're making cards in a rush. Let me just grab the star border. Where is it? And of course I can't find it when I'm looking for it. 4 minutes, it'll probably take me 4 minutes to find these. Where are they?
Where's it?
1, 2. Oh, I'll show you with another one because otherwise we'll be here forever and a day. But if you've gone for the square dies or even the rectangle dies and you haven't got time and you're batch making cards and you're making lots to sell at a market or something like that, you could use your borders, look. So you imagine that border stamped 4 times around there and it changes the look again, and you can still use the sentiments in the corner with the mini borders that match the large border as a system of stamps. And I know it's my product and I'm probably biased, but as a system of stamps, this is incredible and you're going to get so much use from them. It's worth every penny.
They are beautiful, and do you know what? To go for these, do pop these into your basket. If you've just now seen how they work, you know, almost, is it half? Did I hear half? Well, almost half of the stock. This is, don't forget, a one-day special. Going to take us through right the way through until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening is when it actually ends. It's a great opportunity, but almost half the stock gone now. Now you understand the concept. Where else do you think you're going to get such an offer when you come down for value for money per stamp with all the different options? I mean, the different multiple ways that you can use these in conjunction with each other is pretty much limitless, I would have thought. By the time you've chosen the actual sentiment you're going to go with, on the corner you're going to go with, whether it's going to be the hearts on there or it's going to be the stars on there, you've got the borders, you've got the mini borders that will work with it. Don't forget, it also takes out a lot of that kind of trying to get it just judgment right, etc. You've got those corners, you're always going to get those perfect angles once you've got that down. If you're using your stamping platform, really a perfect way to get a lovely professional. That's the other thing about these. The fonts are beautiful and the sentiment as well, which is great. Now, if you don't want to go for the complete collection, although that's where your biggest saving is, you can go for them individually, of course. We do have that option for you. They're just £29, the 98 pence on that. And that, again, if you want to go for the either Duo 1 or whether you want to go for Duo 2 is your option for those. But we've got everything worked out, so you got whichever is the best way for you to go for that, which is absolutely phenomenal. Or just go for 2 payments, each one just £26.98, and that is all it. Of course, interest-free on your flexi option. Don't forget, you've also got your die sets, and your bundles are absolutely phenomenal. Really busy for these anyway to go for them together. They look fantastic. It really does. The other thing about this, when I'm looking at the samples we got back here, it really breaks them up. If you're just a little bit bored of just doing that pure great square or that perfect rectangle, and you just want to have a slightly different feel to them as well, more of an organic kind of feel, they really work. And just have a look at the samples and you can see that. But I will tell you that bundle for both of those sets, almost 80% of the stock has, again, already been allocated. Phill, I just think you always bring fantastic things, and it does come from your craft in mind, so we know what we've got to use with it as well, which is phenomenal. And congratulations already on such a busy bit.
Yeah,
obviously, a lot of card makers love that and can see the benefit.
I'm glad I got what was in my head over to everybody. Yeah, because it's not always easy.
Absolutely. You're back again at 8 o'clock.
I am back at 8 o'clock.
So we'll hopefully there'll be a bit of stock left, because I know that people will be buying in between then as well. So how many demos are we going for?
Two. We're going for 2 at 8 o'clock.
We're going for 2 demos at 8 o'clock, which means you'll get half of one done. So that's going to be at 8 o'clock with Phill, so do not miss out on that one as well. If you have already got your one-day special, well done. If not, you've got time to pop it in your basket now and have a look on the web for rest. Please don't go anywhere. I've got the next hour, if that's okay.